A week ago, my mom was flying to New York to come help me pick a wedding dress. And just this Monday, I took her to the office and was showing her around and being like, Mira, mommy, I work here. But now I have to call and tell her I got laid off. Why am I recording this? I don't know.
Hello.
Hi, mommy.
Ay, mija, ¿cómo andas?
Bien, ¿y tú?
También bien.
¿Dónde andas?
En la casa.
Ok, qué bueno. Te tengo que decir algo.
¿Qué?
Pues en el trabajo tuvieron como recortes y sabíamos que iban a despedir a unas personas, pero...
¿Y te despidieron a ti? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
¿Por siempre? Ay, mija, cuánto lo siento.
Yeah. ¿Estás enojada?
No, ¿cómo voy a estar enojada? Es que el problema está tremendo, mija.
Ok, qué bueno.
Yo entiendo. Él no quiere que diga nada, él demanda aquí, demanda allá, todo el mundo va a quebrar. Yo lo que quiero es que Dios haga justicia, que vea las cosas y que ponga cartas al asunto con él, porque ya fue mucho.
Ya, pues en nuestro equipo cortaron el show por entero, pero unas personas sí las asignaron a otros equipos y a mí no. Yeah.
¿Y el que va a tener el bebé?
El que va a tener el bebé, tuvo el bebé hoy, pero lo despidieron también.
¿Ya lo tuvo?
Ya, lo tuvo esta mañana, es una niña.
¿Tuvo gusto y susto?
Yes, tuvo gusto y susto.
Ay, señor.
Déjate digo el otro chisme.
A ver.
Los compañeros que sí le dieron asignación en otra parte de la empresa, todos son güeros.
Oh.
Y a los que...
Racismo.
Y a los que despidieron fueron a 3 gente afroamericana y a mí.
Y a ti, hey. No, hombre, sí. Hija, yo voy a rezar para que te encuentres un trabajo, ¿ok?
Gracias, mami.
A que pensar qué trabajo no se acaba. Como eso de, ¿cómo se llama? También de construcción o de... Te quiero mucho, mija, no te preocupes.
Ok, mamá.
Voy a rezar mucho, mija, ¿ok?
Ok.
Y vas a agarrar otro bueno, ¿ok?
Ok, mamá.
Primeramente Dios, ¿ok, mija?
Ok. Adiós.
Bye.
Bye. That wasn't that bad.
I just got laid off from my job at CBS, and every producer on my team who got laid off is a person of color. Every person who gets to stay and will be relocated within the company is a white person. Now, in my meeting with the executive who told me I was getting laid off, I specifically asked him if it was a consideration for us to be relocated somewhere else within the company, and he said that we advocated to keep the show. We advocated to try to get you relocated somewhere, and we couldn't. Because I asked him, why are you the person who is making this decision or delivering the news that we're being laid off? And he said, oh, it could have been anyone. Only to later find out, because it wasn't until I went downstairs thinking that me and all of my colleagues had been laid off, that I found out that it was only the people of color. So I went one by one to my white colleagues. Are you getting laid off? No. 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 So I went back up to his office. You said that you couldn't get us relocated, only to find out that you were able to get some people relocated, and they all happen to be white. Am I supposed to believe that that's a coincidence? And he said, yes. I'm supposed to believe that's a coincidence. I said, do you believe that's a coincidence? He said, I do, because I chose to keep the people who I had worked with before.
This was always the plan. The fact that they wanted to get rid of DEI was not getting rid of unqualified people of color. It was about silencing our voices. There was massive layoffs yesterday at CBS, which some people are calling a bloodbath. And one of the units that was slashed was the race and culture. The race and culture unit was tasked with overseeing news stories about race, culture, and injustices, ensuring they have the proper context and tone. The CEO of Paramount, David Ellis, will say that he's doing all this because he's trying to root out ideological biases at CBS. But from what we're seeing, he only wants a certain voice at CBS. Voices that will not challenge the status quo, and really any voices that just doesn't align with their white viewpoint. As people of color, we've always thought that the media was way too biased against our communities, using black and brown bodies way too much to try and scare people every night on the news. And there were few changes being made to try and let voices from those communities come in and again give context to stories. But all that is being thrown out the window. I think it's time black and brown people build up stronger newspapers, stronger media companies. We need to give each other information because as we're seeing, white spaces are pushing us out and silencing our voice.
What is going on at CBS right now? Because it's starting to look like an all-out purge of every black and brown person in the building. It started with one former employee on TikTok saying his entire team, every person of color, was let go, while all the white staff got quietly reassigned. Then more stories started surfacing. Contributor Lisa Ling told she's no longer needed. Rumors that Gayle King was being pushed out, which she first denied, but now even that's looking shaky. And apparently, all of this traces back to one person, the new CBS editor, Bari Weiss. Within 1 week of stepping into her role, she reportedly asked, "Where are all the black and brown people?" and then made sure they were gone. Oh, and if that wasn't bad enough, she allegedly shut down CBS's entire race and culture division, the one department meant to make sure stories about identity and diversity were actually told. Just gone. People are furious, calling it a whitewash of one of the biggest media companies in America. CBS hasn't released an official statement yet, but everyone's pointing fingers, especially since this comes right after Stephen Colbert's exit and other high-profile shakeups under Paramount's management. So yeah, CBS says it's restructuring.
Old media is dying and new media is just not going to be able to replace it, contrary to what most people think. Like, maybe this is liberal of me, but I do think anyone who seriously approaches politics should be very concerned about how quickly and completely the Trump administration has managed to consolidate power around mainstream media. Like, a lot of the heads of these big corporations, like CNN CEO, for instance, they hang out at the Oval Office. They are friends with Trump. And moreover, within the past 2 years, a lot of these mainstream media ecosystems made conscious decisions to elevate liberal Zionists who end up largely being Trump allies, like Bari Weiss. Add that to how the Trump administration is directly targeting the media, for instance, ejecting journalists from the Pentagon or filling the press pool with sympathizers, etc., and like, new media is very clearly dying, even though it was never actually fulfilling the role that it was meant to, which is holding the government to account. Oh, but Samaya, it's fine that mainstream media is dying because we'll just have new media replace it. I don't think that's going to be the case. New media is often independent, which makes them able to ask questions and have conversations that mainstream media would not touch with a 10-foot pole. However, new media is also lacking in 3 things that make journalism, especially investigative journalism, so good at its job when done well. Personnel, access, and training. While we're smoking on that mainstream media pack, we are increasingly being herded towards this new media ecosystem, which is full of like one-man shows where personality is deemed more important than research, and people are talking about current events that they have no real way to access the major players in these events. The corporate model of media was an accomplice in atrocities. It manufactures consent for United States empire, and it feigns objectivity when you couldn't imagine a more biased institution in the world. And yet, the individual capitalist model of media is not significantly better, because for every person you come across who hammers politicians on the role of AIPAC in politics, you come across another person with sometimes even more influence asking Benjamin Netanyahu what his favorite fast food burger is. We have to create a third model of media, because whereas we can't stay with like the corporate model, which is in such lockstep with the government, it might as well be an extension of the State Department, we also can't stick with this like solo influencer model. which is, I think, the embodiment of hyper-individualistic hustler capitalism. We have to build a model of media that reflects the ethos of the world we want to build, one that is communal in nature.
Okay. CBS. Hey. How y'all doing over there? I know y'all happy. I know y'all feel at home. I know you guys feel at peace because, you know, these black voices aren't coming up from the ancestors into your ear through their descendants anymore. I know you feel good about that, don't you? You feel good, don't you? Oh my God. Yay. I'm happy for you. Because you know what? That's what you wanted. And you got what you wanted. You know? You got rid of some iconic people off of your network. Plus all your, you know, minority, black and brown and Asian and everybody. Like, you want it to be a certain type of network. And that's good for you. Okay? You got what you wanted. All right? Now, moving on from them, we know what we have to do. Anybody who got Paramount, I know y'all like y'all Transformers. You know, I know, South Park. Cancel that Paramount, okay? Stop engaging. Boycott. And you know what else? You boycott, and after they give you what you want, don't go back. Don't go back. There's enough black dollar around here. There's way more than enough black dollar. Black dollar is the number one consumer on the planet. So there's more than enough, not on the planet, but in America. You know, can't speak for other countries. I don't know. But black dollar is the number one consumer in America. So start your own. And don't put it on their platforms. Start your own platform. There's a lot of people that are going to support it. You know what I mean? Like, let's be for real. You got rid of all these people for what, though? It's time that we realize, because the thing is, begging somebody to be in a space where you're not welcomed in is trifling. It's trifling for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't understand the detriment, because you're like, oh, let me in, let me in, let me in. And they're like, oh, fine. Come on in. And whole while they side-eyeing you and doing everything they can to downgrade you, to discredit you, to not allow you to shine. Let's be for real. Let's not act like they don't censor our voices when we're in those spaces. Forget them. Okay? All y'all need to leave and go do your own thing. Like, don't think it's impossible. You don't need funding from this billionaire and that millionaire and whatnot. It's like, we just need to come together as ourselves. Like, we've done it before. And at this point, there are more of us making buku bread than there was back in Black Wall Street. Back before, you know, they got jealous. Because that's what happened. They got jealous because we were so prosperous without them. You know, it's like, oh, go out there by yourself and see how it is. And we were doing better than them. So why are we still trying to incorporate ourselves? Is it because MLK told y'all to do that? Oh, but mind you, MLK was like, he fears that he led his people into a burning building. And right after that, pow. Like, same thing with Malcolm X. It was, oh, I was wrong about some of this stuff. We don't need to be hostile. We need to try to work with them. Okay? They're our brothers. We still need to do our own thing, but we need to work together. Not try to be a part of their system. We need to build our own value and they'll see, oh, we need to be like that's basic business structure. Like you can't not present any value and expect to be a part of someone's business, whether you're working at McDonald's or at CBS. You feel me? And okay, if push come to shove, I really feel like we should just, like, as much as we can, like, I don't know, like, I feel like America, y'all let these people get away with a lot of stuff, and you guys don't stand up about it because you're afraid. You're afraid to step out. You're afraid that when you step out, you're gonna fail, and there is gonna be some setbacks initially. I know, and that sucks. But downgrade. Some people out here I see renting and got a nicer car than I do, and they renting. How many nice cars I see in the projects? Like, downgrade. Stop buying these Gucci bags and whatever y'all. I don't know what y'all be buying. Hermes. I don't know if y'all still buy that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody cares. Like, really, does that make you? Do you think that if you have a Gucci bag, like, you're made? Is that what it is? Because I'm pretty sure there are people out here who don't do that are madder than you with your Gucci bag. They got more to offer society, the planet, than you. That ain't driving around in a Benz or whatever. Like, stop trying to showboat and focus on what's really important. Seriously, like, get it together, because it's not got together. So cut them off. It ain't nothing to cut that bitch off. Cut them off. And then let's build something on our own. And hopefully they don't bomb it. Because y'all ain't going to do nothing about it. And this is cold. When Marie Antoinette said, let them eat cake, a lot of y'all sitting here eating cake. And just fine with it. Y'all just sitting here, eating the cake. I'm hungry. Here, kids. Take the cake. Eat the cake. Eat the cake. Yeah. I know we need protein and some water. But I'm going to eat the cake. Because that's what they gave us. You can't be dependent on these people. They don't care about you. And it doesn't matter whether they care about you or not. They want to see you fall. They want to see you fail. They want to keep their foots on your necks. I can't stand some of y'all. Y'all get in these positions and think that y'all is one of them, and y'all ain't. Y'all start acting funny and be like, oh, well, I can do this and I can do that. Brr, 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 brr. What you talking about inequality? Oh, that's just y'all not doing what y'all supposed to do. Really though? Hey, if you like cake, eat it and enjoy it.
Here's a shot of Barry Weiss at CBS on her way to fire all the black people in the building. One of the first things she did was to eliminate the race and culture unit because who gives a fuck about that shit? There's also this because, of course, she was a DEI hire. And a young producer, Tony Sherman, says he got dumped and all the black people on his team got dumped and all the white people got reassigned.
I just got laid off from my job at CBS, and every producer on my team who got laid off is a person of color. Every person who gets to stay and will be relocated within the company is a white person. Now, in my meeting with the executive who told me I was getting laid off, I specifically asked him if
We went from DEI and race-based hiring to race-based firing. I mean, why would a news organization need to have black people in it?
And he said, oh, it could have been anyone. Only to later find out, because it wasn't until I went downstairs thinking that me and all of my colleagues had been laid off, that I found out that it was only the people of color. So I went one by one to my white colleagues. Are you getting laid off? No. 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 So I went back up to his office and I told
Trey Sherman just got laid off from CBS, and he's one of many Americans who have lost their job right before the holiday season, as companies across the board like Amazon, Target, UPS, FedEx are doing mass layoffs. And I really want to highlight Trey's experience because I think it's indicative of what we can expect from the current government and the current regime over the next couple of years unless we take action to cause radical change. They removed DEI, so they have no reason not to be racially discriminatory in their hiring practices and their firing practices. Like, layoffs are not just as simple as, all right, well, we need to save some money, so we need to cut some positions. No, like, you can alter salaries for that. Like, it's as simple as just altering the highest salary in the books. They're laying people off because they are trying to destabilize the American working class so that we're in a state of poverty and scarcity and scrambling for resources so that the ruling class and the elite class has all the power to determine that. And it's really fucked up to see it happen because, like, the same people who are fighting for Trump are the same people who are getting fucked over right now, including black people. So that's why it's really frustrating for us because, like, we told y'all niggas this was going to happen. And now we still getting bitten the ass for it. So, Trey, when you see this video, just know I got your back, bro. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to support the content, man. And I think that this is the start of something amazing for you. Keep sharing your story, brother.
So, as a black journalist, a black news journalist, I have really felt over the last few years, couple months, that things are looking very bleak. I definitely tried to soldier on because journalism has always been my passion. I've always been telling stories. I've always loved hearing stories. When I was a kid, I was really, really excited to come home on Friday nights and watch 2020 with my family. That's the news nerd that lives in me. But I must tell you, every time I see mass layoffs, and when I see the faces of those who are laid off, and when I see news like this, like we're getting rid of the news OGs, I have to say I'm concerned. And I definitely think it's time for a pivot. But what does a pivot look like when you truly love what you do despite the adversity that's against it? Hopefully this reaches the right people. I would love to know what my other fellow news journalists, whether you're black or from another marginalized community, how do you feel about what's going on in news? And if you're not a part of those communities, do you feel the same way? Do you see the same trends? I'd really like to know across the board how the news journalists are feeling lately.
I look like crap because I just woke up, but I really wanted to talk about this CBS issue because It's been making the rounds on my FYP. I'm gonna tell you just a little rundown what happened. The show from CBS network was shut down and a lot of individuals were let go. Mind you, everyone that was let go was a person of color. Everyone that got put into another position, or that their management or whoever the director was in charge of that show, the person who made that decision to choose who was let go and who was put in a different show or a different department, he chose only white people to stay. His reason for that was, well, these are just people that I worked with before. Mind you, it's not the fact that like, oh, these are people that I worked with before. Yeah, that is racist by nature. Like, was it not so long ago that even people of color were even allowed to be into these places of decision making? Like, I have a book of politics right here where it literally said that in the 1970s, here in Houston, Texas, people of Hispanic descent were going into office and were being elected into positions that white people started getting threatened and felt threatened, that they made it, or they positioned the laws and they redistricted, gerrymandering. That's what all of this comes into play. And they did it so that people will lose positions. It goes back to what's happening here in Texas, where literally we had the whole redistricting.
Wait, is CBS firing like all the black people there? Like all the black people there? Recently, I came across this brother's video on TikTok, and he was claiming that CBS got rid of all the black and brown people on his team, including himself. Not only this, but all the white members were reassigned. Shortly after that, I began to see that there were rumors that Gayle King was about to be asked to leave, which initially she denied, but as of Sunday, it seems that she's going to be asked to leave. Contributor Lisa Ling was also told that her services would no longer be needed, and little by little, more and more stories began to surface. And most, if not all, fingers are pointing to this person right here. This is the new editor out at CBS, and her name is Bari Weiss. Within 1 week of getting her new role, she said, "We're all the black and brown people, 'cause y'all are out of here." Which got me thinking, wasn't CBS just in the news for something similar to this? Oh, that's right, they gave Stephen Colbert the boot. And to be fair, or somewhat fair to CBS, this isn't really a CBS problem, it's more of a Paramount problem. Which I understand for some people might be an issue, but for me, I've been marked safe from this list, because I'm not watching any of this stuff. Oh, and there's one more thing I forgot to mention. Before Miss Weiss decided to fire all the black and brown people, she made sure to end the race and culture division at CBS, because who cares about race and culture? At this point, I don't know why people are still watching CBS.
Hi, good morning, Miss King. Nice
Good
to
morning,
see
Tiffany.
you. How are you? So
Good to
it
see
was
you.
very, very shocking to see those reports yesterday. We're all wondering if you might be going in another direction. Do you have an answer as of yet?
No, all I can say is this. From what I'm being told inside this building, take a shot, 524 West 52nd Street. All I've been told by everybody in this building is that they want me here. They like the job I'm doing. I like the job I'm doing. I'll say this, I like the job and the people that I work with. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about it. But what I'm hearing in the building is not what I'm reading in the press. And what I'm not going to do is negotiate in the media. Not doing that.
All right. Do you have an idea like what things might look like in May if the show's going in another direction?
I have no idea.
No idea.
All I know is I am here. I am here and glad to be here.
I'm happy to see that, Miss
Bye,
King.
Tiffany.
Bye. Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
And there you have it. Of course, she's going to give that answer because, you know what I'm saying? She's Gayle, okay? Do you really expect... I just want something playing in the background while I'm chatting with y'all for a little bit. But at what point are people gonna stop making excuses for what's called blatant racism? It's racist. We're gonna call it what it is. Why are they only firing specific people or quote unquote, letting people go? Why are they only doing specific people? Okay. We see what this is. And people, I guess if you're out of touch and you're over the age of 50, you're a baby boomer, you're not aware of everything. Listen, man, traditional media is on its way out. traditional politics is on its way out. This shit, this cabal that has been started with this administration is waking up a lot of people unintentionally. Okay. CB, you know the major news stations. I'm not gonna say them, but especially the one that's listed on the front of this video, you gotta boycott them. I'm pretty sure most of us don't watch them anyway. It's like I said, it's mostly baby boomers and people in the rural communities that aren't in tune with what we are into. But all of these industries are on their way out the door. I say literally within the next 15 to 20 years, they're not going to be here. They're not. All of them. CNN, CBS, Fox, they're not going to be here. These shits are, especially Fox, they're dying, and they're dying fast. Okay? So, number one, should people be upset? Yes, but at the same time, this is why we should have our own media outlets. This is why we should be doing our own work and not depending on somebody that holds these racist ideals as someone that would help take care of you and sustain your future. You should make your own. Sometimes you got to put your foot in the door to get where you need to be. I understand that. I get that. But once you get to a certain spot, you should be self-sufficient in making your own media. Not everybody's going to succeed, and that's okay. But depending on these companies who have shown consistent, or I want to say consistent neglectful ways of treating black and brown people and doing it over and over and over again, what do you expect them to do? This is what they do. If somebody shows you that they're a thief, they're always going to be a thief. They may not be thieving personally from you, but they can still steal. They can steal your ideas. They can steal your light. They can steal a bunch of stuff, man. But it just goes to show you gotta be self-sufficient. Can't be dependent on these big companies to secure your future. You gotta secure your own. And that's with a bunch of other jobs, Amazon, all these other industries that are cutting all of the black and brown people, fine. Okay? But don't go crying when you don't have anyone to do the jobs that you need in order for your industry to sustain. Okay? Because believe it or not, like it or not, this country is not white and it's not going to be white. It was never white to begin with. So to base your decision making off trying to keep everything white, you guys keep trying to follow Trump. I'm finna call him Tramp. You guys keep trying to follow this man off the cliff, and y'all got to remember, he's not going to be here much longer. He's not. He's on his way out, and y'all can take that how y'all want to take it. I'm not saying it any specific way. Y'all not finna have them people on my ass. What I'm saying is, and I ain't talking about his supporters, F his supporters. I'm talking about the other people. What I'm saying is, you're going to be held accountable when that man is not around to protect you or to protect the ideals that you guys are positioning yourselves in right now. You're going to have to stand with that for a long time. If not, probably the rest of your life. Are you ready to be isolated that long? You also, I kind of didn't like the position that Gayle King took on that, because it's like, well, I like being there. It's like, why can't we ever, as a collective, just stand with each other? Why does it always have to be, well, they did that to them and not me, so I would like to be here. So if she had an opportunity to show up, she will still do it, regardless of the fact that she knows that they just fired only brown and black people from the program. I can't respect that. You know what I mean? But again, and here's my thing. You're well off if I'm speaking about Miss Gayle King, right? You're well off. You've been well off. You have enough money. At what point does your morals overstep the money? right? I don't have much money at all. But what I'm not going to do is ever sell out my community just to make $1. It would never happen. You can't pay me enough to do it. I don't care if I'm having problems with my own community. I still won't sell my own community out. So I can't respect her take on, I like being there. I like working there. I like the people, da, 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 da. But yeah, but then you see that they don't like, she's a token. How do I know about the token? I was a token before, and I wasn't even aware I was a token. I kept trying to frame it as something else. You know what I mean? Nah, I was a token. I got tokened. Now I really see it. You know what I'm saying? For what it is. You're the good one. You're the nice one. Why can't everybody else just be like you? You're so smart. You're so intelligent. You're so handsome. All this shit making you the token. And you just think like, they're nice to me, so, I don't mind. Yeah, but then they treat everybody else in your family like shit. You know what I mean? So I can't respect her take on that. You know what I mean? She's big enough now to where she can have her own media company, and people will follow suit and respect it for that. I can't respect no one that always puts their dollars over their morals. I can't do it. So I'm honestly rooting that she did get kicked, so she don't need to be there anyway. Sometimes you need to get pushed out of the house to realize you didn't need to be there anyway. That's the end of the video, man. Like, comment, share. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace. Share my shit. Share my shit. See y'all in the next one. Peace.